while I'm thinking about it, let me make sure. So, typical Monday. Typical Monday means that I get here anywhere between 9:20 and 9:40. I'm running a little behind. It's like 9:40-ish. I get here at 9:40. I sit down. I bring in the maximum amount of bags that I'm gonna need for the whole week. I have become slightly addicted to these lemonade teas that Monster does. I don't know if you have seen these Monster rehabs. I personally like the peach tea and this regular stuff. I like to alternate because otherwise you get sick of one flavor. No sponsorship, just so you know. Oh my God, that already feels better. Tea. We're gonna say it's the magical healing property of tea and citrus and move on. So on a typical Monday, if there isn't an RI, then what I'm probably going to be doing is making sure that the order that was placed yesterday has clear entry, I'm gonna go ahead and say. So yesterday, somebody placed an order for product with one of our distributors or multiple distributors. It doesn't really matter. The point is, order for product got placed yesterday. So today, I'm going to go through that order line by line, item by item, and make sure that each of those items is in our system so that when we get the order, we can receive it in properly and we can charge people for the order because it exists in our computer system. If I finish that quickly, then that means I'm going to be going on to processing, which is taking cards that people have traded into us, our cards that we've come across. Like sometimes that just happens, like people leave stuff behind. I'll be going through those cards. I will, if necessary, grade the card, and those cards I will put into the system and then make sure that they are all in their proper place so that if an order is made, somebody can go and find that card quickly. Usually there's not more unless there's an RI, and I think there is an RI today. RIs are whenever the orders that we've listed online come through via TCG Player and you have to get a huge bulk amount of the cards. I say huge, it can be small-ish, but it usually isn't. Like it's usually like at least like 45, 50 cards. That's a Monday for work. I get off at 4:30 today. I will probably try to change. I usually do remember to bring a secondary shirt. Sometimes I don't, and that's fine. I will change into that, and then I will hang around until D&D start. I don't know who's running tonight. We'll see. D&D usually wraps up 8:45-ish, 9 o'clock. Go home. If boyfriend is available for cuddles, he comes home with. If sometimes boyfriend comes home with me, we might watch something, eat together, laugh together, maybe play games together, because I just did get my commander deck together and Lorcana just came out, so there's that. Although Jay's deck's been whipping me. Anyway, but yeah, so he might even fall asleep and then I let him sleep because he doesn't sleep enough. I'll go shower and come back out. About an hour or two of letting him have that nap, I'll be like, hey, when did you want to leave? And that was a typical Monday. If I am lucky enough to make it here early enough, I'll set up for this and I will film something. One thing that I have noticed is that I like spending time with my boyfriend. So if I don't have something filmed on Monday or Tuesday, then I'm not going to have anything to edit and go up on Friday or Sunday. But if boyfriend is around, then I'm not going to have time to edit anyway. So it's a bit of a conundrum right now. Having an abundance of blessings, though, not a bad thing. Other than that, that is a typical Monday. I'm gonna go get my food and actually try to rejoin society as a human person because I'm tired. Tuesday, if it were a typical Tuesday, it's not a typical Tuesday, unfortunately. So typically on Tuesday, I'm getting here at 9:30-ish, 9:29, 9:30, 9:40-ish, just like Monday. I come early, I eat breakfast. It's kind of been ingrained into me ever since Kroger, actually, but for different reasons. If I'm at home and I get invested in something, time slips away and then I feel rushed when I realize, oh, I've got to actually go. So it's easier to come here, have breakfast, and get invested in something here, because then at the very least when the alarm goes off that says, hey, you got work soon, I am here at work and I don't have to worry about it that much. Anyway, that's not important, but it is also important. So Tuesday, on a typical Tuesday, get here early, eat, set up, get ready to receive an order, because the order that I logged on Monday comes in on Tuesday. Usually, sometimes there's late stuff, and that doesn't happen. Open up the boxes, take out all the stuff, find the packing slip, order everything according to the packing slip, make sure that we have everything that's on the packing slip, and then because I put everything into the system Monday, I can start scanning it in and confirm the numbers, confirm the price, and that goes into our system and gets distributed where it belongs in the cosmology of products that we have here. Cosmology, the placement, the way that it goes. Anyway, because product rotates and moves sometimes. Yeah, that's funny. Okay, I see what I did there. Okay, so after order gets unpacked, typically what I've been doing recently with the break and everything between the summer and now is that I've been processing cards because we had a lot of trade-ins. And what I'll do is I'll look up the value of a card, giving it its condition and whatever edition of the card it is. And then I will post that and the card will go into its proper place. Basically what I said yesterday, processing. That happens, and then counter management if I'm done with that or any other little project that I might be doing. Another one of my side projects is to go through our old stock and like look through each of the cards that we have listed and see what the current price is as opposed to what we have it listed for. That way we don't have a card that's dropped in value, or I guess it could spike in value, but it usually doesn't. Usually cards drop in value. So like if they've got a card up there and I listed it several months ago at like $1.55 and it's now worth 60 cents, I'm wanting to drop that down to 60 cents so that we actually move the card, not, you know, sit on a card that we're not gonna sell. That side project. Today though, the official start of the After School Young Gamers Guild. Young Gamers Guild was started a year ago as a summer project. We got 4 kids signed up, I think. I think so. I think eventually it got a little bit bigger, but that was because it went to after school. So yeah, Young Gamers Guild, they would show up for basically like a Monster of the Week, Quest of the Week sort of thing. It started off with them having, for the summer program, 2 quests to pick from, and depending on what they picked, they would go with that storyline, and that meant that something else was gonna happen. So like, if they picked to do like, oh, the kobolds in the caves are gonna become a nuisance over, hey, we need a lumber mill, then that meant that it would take longer for the settlement that they were in to actually build itself up because it didn't have a lumber mill. They would have to do that again, like a couple ways down the line. But if they picked the lumber mill over the kobolds, there's a chance the kobolds could attack at any time. So, consequences. We continued it for a little while, and for a little while we actually had enough kids to where they could pick 2 different storylines, and I was one of them, and the Ginger Spirit, I'm gonna call him. The Ginger Spirit was the other. And for a few weeks in a row, they picked him, which meant that my town got sacked. They were still really bitter about that. It's actually kind of interesting. Anyway, yeah, so Young Gamers Guild happens where kids show up, they have a character in a folder, and we keep track of the folders because otherwise that can get, that's in our D&D stuff too. We keep track of all of the store run game stuff. That way you have less of a chance of losing it if we're keeping it safe here. That starts at 4 and lasts till 7. We don't know how many people we've got today because I think we only got 1 confirmation. So we'll see how that goes. But typically Tuesday, get here, eat breakfast, unpack an order whenever it arrives, put it into the system, put it onto the shelves. then do processing or project until Young Gamers Guild at 4. 7, go home. Yeah, so I'm gonna go eat my breakfast now. Cheers. Yes, I am wearing my sunglasses at night, and that's because today wasn't a typical day. It was the worst day. And we were down 2 people, but that's not what was the worst about it. The worst was at around 9:45, I started to feel like something was not quite right, and it very quickly progressed to something being wrong. First time in a long time I had a migraine, which I have light strobing effects. They're called aura migraines, and I take something that's preventative. So since it wasn't working, that meant that I just had to bear with it and hope that the medication that I was going to take for the headache that I was having would help. Worked through it, wore my sunglasses all day because UV lights and nah, computer screens, nah, phone screen even isn't that great. I think I powered through it well enough. So on a typical Wednesday, if the order wasn't delivered on Tuesday, we expect to unpack it and sort it. Processing is done. Young Gamers Guild for the Pokemon kids is on Wednesday. It starts at 3:30 and ends roughly around 5:30. Anywhere from 4:30 on, people start arriving for the one-shot D&D sessions that the store has on Wednesday nights. A Wednesday crowd's a little smaller than a Thursday crowd. Thank God we created Wednesday nights because we needed relief. We had too many people on Thursday. I run D&D from like 5:45, 6 o'clock till almost 9. Tonight was a good night. We had a lot of fun. My table isn't all about the combat, so the people that prefer role play and intrigue, they're fun sitting at my table. If you like combat, then that's cool. That's not bad on you, bruh. Enjoy your game, enjoy your play. It's 9 or after 9-ish. I'm gonna be headed home soon. Right now I'm under some lights, which is why I have sunglasses on still, because my eyes are still very sensitive to light right now. I am looking forward to bed because that's how I reset. I hope how I reset. That was the day. How many days have I missed? It's Sunday, just FYI. I think Wednesday was the last one that I very tiredly put in some sort of entry for. So that means Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's awesome. So for a typical Thursday, work starts at 11:30, usually go in a little early so I can eat breakfast fresh there and have a maximum amount of food for as long as I can. Do processing, any side project. The bosses usually have a powwow on Thursday to be like, what do we need to get from Sam's? Are we making orders for this? What events are coming up? Yada yada. Essentially assessing where they are and what they need to do for the future. I usually do processing, and then we have D&D that starts up. Again, it's around 5:45. We have D&D, and then after that, the day's over with. I come home. I usually hang out with boyfriend and then go to bed, shower, go to bed. I did game a little bit, but just Cosmic Wheel Sisterhood, no Baldur's Gate 3. Not that that doesn't matter, because Cosmic Wheel Sisterhood will suck you in and make you want to keep clicking. Anyway, that was Thursday. So Friday, another day I missed making a vlog on that day, although that's kind of okay because telling you what typically happens and then realizing that it's not typical is kind of interesting. Typical Friday, I'm off work. If I have to do clothes or do any sort of laundry or anything, any sort of errands, I usually do it on that day. I sleep in a little bit, play some games. Every now and then we've been having people over, either play D&D or whatever, just gather around the table, be friends and have fun. This time, since boyfriend has been missing out on a lot of D&D due to his work, he was like, no, I'm running, just show up. And yeah, it wasn't a typical Friday either. I had a doctor's appointment. I went to get My last shot, I had an 11:30 appointment, and I got there like 10:45, 10:50-ish, and at 12 o'clock I was like, hey, is everything okay? And they were like, oh, you haven't even been seen to yet. And I was like, yeah, that's a problem. So it was a little late getting that shot, but I finally got it. And yeah, I came home, did some cleaning, and we had people over for boyfriend's D&D, which turned out to be a Final Fantasy-esque Kingdom Hearts game. D&D? We're really branching out with these D&D games now, so that's amusing, if nothing else. Other than that, nothing really different. People usually head over here just after 7, and we act like fools. Anyway, but yeah, that's Friday, and it's a day that I love because it's so chillax. For Saturdays, a typical Saturday, try to wake up around 9 or 10. I don't have to be into work till 2:30 usually. They had asked me to come at 2, but again, things went snafu. I was late, but it was fine. Work 2:30 to usually about 9-ish, 8:45, 9-ish, depending on certain factors. Saturday's the busiest day at the arena. We have Pokemon in the mornings. We have Lorcana at 2. Then we have Commander at 4. We have painting sometimes at 3, but painting only happens on the 1st and 3rd Saturday of every month. Occasionally we've been known to have fight nights too, where people bring their gaming systems and some monitors and do some fighting tournaments. The Pokemon Cup, or was it Pokemon League? There's some sort of challenge for Pokemon that day. So they were it ran into the Lorcana time frame. And Lorcana was going on. No one showed up for painting, so Zach got to play Lorcana. That's nice. Normally, boyfriend tries to come and hang out for a little while, or at least chill out with me at home, but he's been pulling doubles lately, just working to open to close, and is not in a shape to do anything other than go home and rest. And I totally get that. And that's Saturday. Today is Sunday. Sunday is also a chill day. I'm off on Sundays now. Sleep in till about 9, maybe 10. Today was a very, very late start because last night I stayed up playing Baldur's Gate 3 a lot, which is not difficult to do. So I had a bit of a late start. I think I woke up at 11 today. We also had some really crazy thunderstorms last night. Typical Sunday, if there's any washing to finish it. If there's any chores left done, do them. Gather up trash and put it at the road. Tomorrow's Labor Day though, so might play some more games, might paint some minis, not sure. I'll see how I feel about it. Anyway, yeah, so that's my week. Surprise Loki. I'm exhausted still. I've had to, after the migraine, I had to up my my medicine for my headaches, and it is making me a little cloudy, a little more tired than usual. So there's that. But this has been a week, and I don't know if I'm gonna keep doing this because checking in every day is crazy. Mondays and Tuesdays are the easiest days to check in just because I open by myself for a little while, so I have that time to myself. So it's easier, but rest of the week. Anyway, I guess I'll see you guys later. Bye.